going on, man?
You Too Short?
Yep.
It's Billy Goddamn Jam.
What's happening? Billy Goddamn Jam.
Hey, man. It's good to talk to you on this annual or biannual basis.
That's right.
So, like in 25 years from now, when you're doing album number 42, I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing another interview with your dad. Tell the story again about how you and Freddie B started out.
Oh, yeah.
So, how are you doing, man?
Well, I'm just working hard, man. It's, sometimes it's like punching brick walls, but
But you're doing okay.
Doesn't stop me.
Okay, now the title of the new album, Can't Stay Away, is pretty much...
It says it all.
It says it all. So the whole retirement thing we know was more like sort of a changing of the way you looked at things, right?
Exactly. Just a different business approach, had to be done. It was either, change our ways or just really, truly just give it up and take on a whole new form. But, I mean, the whole plan was to jump behind the scenes and help other artists and sell records. That's the plan. There is no other plan.
Right.
Being Too Short is a pretty good job, pays good, but, it was not a really good situation. Now it's 100% better now.
In what way?
In the fact that, I had the access to put these artists out and, put them out through a good deal and give them a chance and really, do the music that I want to do, not just Bay Area artists or West Coast artists, but, people I've been coming across all around the country.
Right.
And, as far as the Too Short thing goes, I'm just going to make a few good records, get them out there, kind of keep it kind of real street. I'm not trying to compete with Puff Daddy and Busta Rhymes and, the whole BET, MTV thing going on. Not really focused on that. So I'm starting a street label, and I'll be the big street honcho running the label.
Okay, and that's Short Records.
Short Records.
Right.
Got a lot of good stuff coming.
Okay, you got Baby DC, which is well overdue, right? That's coming pretty soon. It must be.
Yeah, they got these new kind of Nickelodeon hopes, so they took him off my street program and put him onto a Disney Channel program. Which actually makes sense because when you and him are in that video together, I mean, it's all really positive, right? Like he's saying about staying in school, so that's. But they still just it's just trying to keep that Too Short black cloud from over his head,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because people will say, oh, he's with Too Short,
right?
And kind of that loses his Nickelodeon image right away.
Okay, so you're cool with that?
Yeah, I'm like his parents, the label, me, we all came to a joint decision that that'd probably be the best to launch his career.
Right. Okay.
Instead of having to dress like a little Master P, saying, yeah, I'm with Short.
Right.
Which was my idea, which I thought was a good idea, too. Because I like those little guys, the Pee Wee All-Stars. I like their look.
Yeah.
Little hardcore little dudes,
Right. So now, when you announced that you were retiring, even though it was, it didn't really mean you were giving it up. It seemed that a lot of people then were like, oh my God, they started appreciating you more, and even other artists, because then you did like a ton of different guest spots and cameos, right? With different people. So you've been busier than ever. Now with this new album, I haven't heard the whole thing because they had some problem with getting the master done. I think it'll be done by tomorrow. So I just have Don't Stop Rapping and More Freaky Tales. So those are kind of like a throwback to the older stuff. Although I listened to the original Don't Stop Rapping, it's totally different. It's just the title is the same, but the Freaky Tales is kind of on the same. So is the whole album like that?
It was a nostalgic type of thing going on with me with like titles and like the Freaky Tales situation. And the idea was that this was an idea conceived after I made the album, but the idea was to not pick a commercial single and have people say, I don't know if this is the Too Short I want right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The idea was to just really do it Too Short fashion. No fanfare. Just drop some little raunchy little singles out there and let word of mouth do it. And we got a lot of single sales just like that. I know had we promoted it and spent money on the singles, they probably would have sold a lot more, but that wasn't the intention.
Right.
The intention was to keep it really raw, Too Short fashion. So, we're going to run a lot of ads TV ads for the album coming and the the March 9th release date and whatnot. But basically, I mean, there won't be any big hit records, records that we're trying to push down your throat, like pick this song, this is the song.
Right.
There's an album that's being dropped at the same time as my album, a clean version.
Same, like you always did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes we let the clean version follow a month or two later.
Right.
But this is a clean version being dropped with the album.
I was going looking over some old stuff. I came across this article from the newspaper from 1990 when they first introduced the explicit lyrics warning, remember, voluntarily?
Mm-hmm.
But you had done that years before.
Yeah, 87. We just
voluntarily.
We put it we put it on the front of parental advisory, something like that. Parental discretion advised. We put that on the front of Born to Mac.
Right.
And it was just it was bold and red, and we just put it there to kind of like let you know this is that bad thing,
Right. So the new album is really a nostalgic thing. A lot of it is sort of it's what you've always done, really, right?
Yeah,
tell the same story like over.
It comes on for a few songs, and it's really like the first 3 songs are like kind of like a moody type thing, where it's it's kind of serious, kind of thinking back, and not a lot of real shit talking in the beginning of the album, and then it just kind of gradually just starts taking you into the real Too Short world, and we just really like go there, like you really feel like I'm in a new album now. I'm not in this looking back situation. So it's not a very preachy album, but off and on there's some real socially strong songs.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than normal, and it's not a big guest appearance album either, but in today's kind of way of making albums, I have enough. I got Daz and his homie Superfly and E40 on a song. I got a R&B feeling kind of song with Horace Brown, used to be a Motown artist. I think he's on Bad Boy now.
Right.
And I got a song with Jay-Z and Shabba Ranks and me on a song together.
Okay.
And I got one with just me and Be Legit, who has a very similar style to mine and has always been I've always been a big fan of his. He's always been a big fan of mine. So we decided to finally, after 5 years of saying let's do a song, finally really doing a song, and it's a hot song. And I got another E40 camp member, Captain Save-A-Ho.
Okay.
And he comes on and does a real funny song with me. He's actually on the hook.
Okay.
He's on the hook with me and Be Legit.
Right.
And he's telling us to, be nice to the girls and quit talking shit. And then the next song he comes on, he says a little rap, and it's kind of like comedy,
Right.
And then Freaky Tales and Invasion of the Flat Booty Bitches is just to give a little. Freaky Tales is a new version, but
right.
Invasion of the Flat Booty Bitches is word for word.
Right.
It's just about change them a little bit, but it's just about the same rap with a new beat from way back in the day. And I'm also adding when the commercial release comes, there'll be a bonus CD, no charge, just a bonus CD in there where you get I think it's like 14 songs of new Short Records stuff
as well.
Yeah, so that's like the first little, outside of Nationwide Independence Day, that's the first little mass exposure the crew will get. My new crew, I call the crew Nationwide. It's not like we're the Dangerous Crew and it's 5 or 6 members in a little crew. It's Nationwide. Nationwide is actually a bunch of crews put together. They break down into like a dozen crews or something.
Right.
And all of them aren't signed to Short Records, but
they're affiliated.
For the most part, there's a connection to my label with everybody.
Right. Is Goldie still with you? Because he put out a tape locally, and so did Father Dom.
I wish he was, but he kind of, Ant Banks and I have a very, very, very good understanding of who we are, what we do, and how we work together, and where we stand with each other.
Right.
But pretty much the rest of the guys, because they hadn't financially seen the kind of money Ant Banks saw, they kind of, the transition from Dangerous Music to Short Records, Father Dom would have never wanted to lose him. Goldie never wanted to lose him. They kind of just didn't hang in there,
Yeah, and they both put out little independent ones. Have you heard their new stuff?
Yeah, I have. We're all still cool,
Yeah.
There was no falling out, no, I got Pooh Man saying that when he was in prison, some publishing checks were cashed that was supposed to be his publishing money from his involvement with Dangerous Music and Jive Records. And, I'm just like, I didn't have any Lawrence Thomas checks cashing them, so I'm investigating with the publishing department up here as to what is he talking about, because he has a long chart of what happened.
Right.
And when these checks were issued and who they were sent to, and I just want to look into it. But outside of that, man, I mean, I wish my guys could have hung on, because I thought that me, Ant Banks, Father Don, and Goldie were a tight, four-man crew.
Yeah.
And then we had the production with Pee Wee and Shorty B, and me and Banks, banging those beats out and whatnot. It was something that really could have been, a Dog Pound type of era type thing.
Right. Well, I see Taj, Turntable T, is still with you.
Yeah, he holds the studio.